Welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about a deeply intriguing and shocking storyline that revolves around Michael Corinthos, Sonny Corinthos, Carly Spencer, and the mysterious reappearance of Morgan Corinthos, a son long believed to be dead. This stunning development begins far from Port Charles, within the corridors of a hospital in Germany, and quickly escalates into a scheme that will forever alter the dynamics of the Corinthos family. As viewers know, Michael Corinthos has been undergoing an extensive recovery at a renowned German hospital following severe burn injuries. The treatment has been prolonged and grueling, forcing Michael to adjust to a new reality far from his family and home. Slowly but surely, Michael has adapted to life abroad, embracing a quiet routine in Germany as he patiently awaits full recovery. However, a fateful night dramatically changes Michael's quiet existence. Seeking some relaxation after a particularly draining day of medical procedures, Michael decides to visit a local bar. It is here that fate takes an unexpected turn. Behind the bar stands a bartender whose appearance shakes Michael to his core. The man is identical in nearly every way to Morgan Corinthos, Michael's half-brother, presumed dead for years. The shock that strikes Michael upon seeing this man's face is almost overwhelming, instantly pulling him back into the heartbreaking memory of losing Morgan. Unable to contain his curiosity and emotional turmoil, Michael engages the bartender in conversation. The bartender introduces himself as Liam, a man of German nationality, but of clear American heritage. Liam's English is fluent, nuanced, and natural, immediately raising Michael's suspicions. Despite Liam's insistence that he is merely an American expatriate now living and working in Germany, Michael remains captivated by the uncanny resemblance between Liam and his lost brother. During their heartfelt conversation, Liam confides in Michael, sharing deeply personal struggles. He reveals that he is a father whose young son suffers from a serious illness, a condition requiring expensive medical care beyond Liam's modest means. Liam's employment as a bartender barely covers basic expenses, making his financial situation increasingly dire. Touched by Liam's plight, Michael contemplates how this stranger's appearance could intertwine with his own family's painful past and uncertain future. Always resourceful and strategic, Michael devises an extraordinary and audacious plan. Sensing a unique opportunity that serves both Liam's desperate financial needs and his own hidden agenda, Michael boldly proposes a deal that seems almost too unbelievable to accept. He offers Liam a staggering $3 million, an amount sufficient to ensure top-tier medical care for Liam's son. However, the offer comes with conditions attached. Liam must travel to Port Charles, assume the identity of Morgan Corinthos, and convincingly portray a scenario of severe memory loss to everyone there. All he must do, Michael assures him, is to pretend that he remembers nothing about his past. At first, Liam is understandably hesitant. He struggles with the morality of accepting such an unusual and ethically questionable proposal. Yet, the dire medical needs of his child ultimately outweigh any moral reservations. With immense reluctance but equal desperation, Liam agrees to Michael's startling offer, accepting that deception is his only path to saving his son's life. Their agreement marks the beginning of a high-stakes charade that is poised to unleash emotional upheaval upon Port Charles. As Michael finally concludes his burn treatments successfully, he sets the wheels of this astonishing plan into motion. He prepares Liam extensively, coaching him meticulously about the intricate details of Morgan's personality, mannerisms, and history. Michael intends to ensure that Liam's portrayal of Morgan is flawless, carefully orchestrated to prevent suspicion from those who loved Morgan most deeply, namely, his parents Sonny Corinthos and Carly Spencer. Upon arrival in Port Charles, Liam is immediately thrust into an intensely emotional reunion that no one saw coming. Sonny and Carly, unaware of the deception unfolding before them, are blindsided by their supposed deceased son's unexpected return. Their initial shock soon dissolves into overwhelming joy and tears, as they emotionally embrace the man they believe to be Morgan. For Sonny and Carly, this moment feels miraculous, a divine intervention returning their child from beyond the grave. The Corinthos household is transformed overnight, suddenly filled with an overwhelming sense of hope, redemption, and gratitude. Yet beneath the facade of joyful reunion, the reality is far more complex. Michael carefully observes his family's reactions from the sidelines, keenly aware of the emotional manipulation his plan has introduced into their lives. Although his motives remain enigmatic, it is evident that Michael's decision to orchestrate Morgan's supposed resurrection has deeper layers. Has Michael's intention purely been driven by compassion for Liam's desperate situation, or is there another, perhaps darker, reason for this elaborate deception? Port Charles remains unaware of Michael's true objectives, but suspicions linger around his increasingly strategic mind. As days pass and Liam continues his portrayal of Morgan, questions inevitably begin to surface. Sonny and Carly, initially blinded by happiness and relief, start noticing subtle inconsistencies in Liam's behavior, tiny missteps in mannerisms, minor lapses in memory that gradually trigger confusion and unease. Despite Liam's best efforts to remain convincing, the inherent differences between him and the real Morgan slowly become apparent. Simultaneously, Liam himself battles the psychological weight of living a continuous lie, wrestling internally with guilt and moral conflict. Despite his pressing financial motivations, Liam gradually finds himself drawn emotionally into the Corinthos family's lives. The depth of their grief, joy, and vulnerability profoundly affects him, stirring unexpected feelings of genuine compassion and affection toward the very people he is deceiving. Liam's emotional struggle is compounded by the growing bond between him and Sonny, Carly, and others within the Corinthos circle. Initially viewing this as a purely transactional arrangement, Liam begins to experience deep, genuine connections that threaten to compromise his ability to maintain the charade. He questions his decisions frequently, agonizing over the moral implications of his deception. Yet, Liam's primary motivation remains steadfast: securing life-saving medical care for his beloved son back in Germany. Meanwhile, Michael's carefully constructed plan faces significant threats. Jason Morgan, ever protective of his loved ones, notices Liam's inconsistencies and grows increasingly suspicious. Jason's instincts, sharpened by years of dealing with deceit and danger, compel him to dig deeper, determined to uncover the truth behind Morgan's miraculous return. His investigation slowly draws him closer to uncovering Michael's involvement, placing Michael's secretive scheme at risk of imminent exposure. In the middle of this unfolding drama lies a pivotal question that gnaws persistently at both viewers and characters alike: is Liam truly just a stranger from Germany, merely an opportunistic pawn in Michael's game, or is he genuinely Morgan Corinthos, who perhaps suffered severe trauma leading to amnesia, unknowingly rediscovering his identity? Could it be that Michael's seemingly manipulative plan unintentionally brought the real Morgan back into their lives? As this complex storyline progresses, tensions steadily rise within Port Charles. Sonny and Carly's renewed hope gradually shifts toward suspicion and uncertainty, while Liam's internal conflict deepens, threatening to tear him apart from within. Michael grapples with the consequences of his risky scheme, aware of the potential emotional devastation his family might suffer should the truth emerge. Ultimately, the storyline embodies critical themes of deception, identity, family, and the painful consequences of manipulation, regardless of intention. The Corinthos family is forced to confront their past grief, uncertain future, and the harsh realities of deception that threaten to undermine their fragile joy. As we continue watching ABC's General Hospital, viewers remain captivated by this compelling narrative, anxiously awaiting the truth behind Liam's identity and Michael's real intentions. Will Michael's intricate deception ultimately serve its intended purpose, or will it instead trigger unforeseen consequences, unraveling his relationship with his family? And, crucially, who exactly is Liam, a desperate stranger in over his head, or truly Morgan Corinthos, returned from the dead? Next, we will dive deep into the swirling drama surrounding Brooklyn Quartermain, her family's secrets, and the tangled web of emotions that threaten to unravel everything. Alongside this, we'll explore the dangerously captivating romance between Jack Brennan and Carly Spencer, a pairing that promises heartbreak and shocking revelations. Buckle up as we unpack these storylines with fresh perspectives, intricate details, and a closer look at the motivations driving our beloved characters in Port Charles. Brooke Lynn's hidden past and family fractures. At the heart of the Quartermaine mansion, tensions have reached a boiling point as Brooke Lynn Quartermaine finds herself at odds with her formidable grandmother, Tracy Quartermaine. Fed up with Tracy's incessant praise for step-aunt Lulu Spencer, Brooke Lynn couldn't hold back any longer. In a moment of raw frustration, she let slip a bombshell that left Tracy reeling. Lulu has known for years about the child Brooke Lynn gave up for adoption during her turbulent teenage years. This revelation struck Tracy like a thunderbolt, not merely because of the secret itself, but because it meant she had a great-grandson out there in the world, a piece of the Quartermaine legacy she never knew existed. Her shock quickly morphed into a deep sense of betrayal and loss, as if a precious heirloom had been snatched from her grasp. Tracy's reaction wasn't about the warmth of family or the joy of a child's laughter. It was about lineage, bloodlines, and the continuation of the Quartermaine name. To her, this child wasn't just a person but a symbol of her family's enduring power, now seemingly lost to the winds of time. On the other side of this emotional battlefield stands Lois Cerullo, Brooke Lynn's mother, who fancies herself the epitome of maternal virtue in contrast to Tracy's cold pragmatism. Lois prides herself on being the supportive parent who stood by her daughter through the heart-wrenching decision to give up her baby. Unlike Tracy, whose self-centered focus on legacy blinds her to others' feelings, Lois claims she only ever wanted to protect Brooke Lynn from the pain of her past. However, a closer examination reveals cracks in Lois' saintly facade. While she congratulates herself for shielding her daughter, Lois conveniently ignores the harsh reality that her actions may have undermined Brooke Lynn's deepest wishes. When Lois married into the Quartermaine family through Ned, she endured her own share of mistreatment and manipulation at their hands, an experience that left deep scars. Determined to spare her grandson a similar fate, she made the unilateral decision to keep Ned in the dark about his role as a grandfather. Lois saw herself as a guardian, protecting her daughter's child from the Quartermaine machine that chews up and spits out anyone who doesn't conform to its rigid expectations. But was this truly about Brooke Lynn, or was it about Lois rewriting her own painful history? Digging deeper into this family drama, let's consider the specifics of Brooke Lynn's adoption plan and how Lois' choices deviated so dramatically from her daughter's intentions. Brooke Lynn had been explicit in her desire for a closed adoption, a clean break where neither she nor the adoptive parents would know each other's identities. This was her way of coping, of moving forward without the constant ache of wondering about her child's life. But Lois, driven by a mix of protectiveness and perhaps a subconscious need to remain connected to her grandson, threw those wishes out the window. Instead of honoring the boundaries Brooke Lynn set, Lois secretly placed the baby with a branch of her own family, ensuring she could keep tabs on him from a distance. When the child's adoptive mother tragically passed away, Lois, alongside her own mother Gloria, stepped in to raise the boy known to us as Gio without ever revealing his true origins. What's more, both Brooke Lynn and Dante, the child's father, have crossed paths with Gio countless times over the years, interacting with their son without the slightest clue of their connection. Each smile, each casual conversation, was a missed opportunity for truth, a poignant reminder of the secrets Lois chose to keep. This wasn't just a betrayal of Brooke Lynn's wishes. It was a calculated move by Lois to hold on to a piece of her family, no matter the cost to her daughter's emotional well-being. Ironically, in her quest to protect, Lois mirrors the very controlling nature she despises in Tracy, manipulating the situation to suit her own desires under the guise of love. The implications of these choices ripple outward, affecting not just Brooke Lynn but the entire Quartermaine clan. How will Ned react when he eventually learns he's been denied the chance to know his grandson? And what of Gio himself, a young man caught in the middle of a family saga he knows nothing about? As these secrets fester, the potential for heartbreak and confrontation looms large. Will Brooklyn ever forgive her mother for overstepping, or will this become a permanent wedge between them? One thing is certain. The Quartermaine family is a powder keg of emotions, and this latest revelation is the spark that could ignite an explosion. Jack Brennan and Carly Spencer, a romance doomed to implode. Meanwhile, across town, a different kind of storm is brewing, one fueled by passion, deception, and the ever-present danger of hidden truths. Jack Brennan, the enigmatic figure with ties to the shadowy underbelly of Port Charles, finds himself increasingly ensnared by the magnetic allure of Carly Spencer. Their connection, already fraught with complications, is set to deepen in the coming weeks, pulling Brennan into a vortex of emotions he's ill-prepared to navigate. Carly has become his undeniable weakness, a chink in the armor of a man who prides himself on control and secrecy. As their bond intensifies, so too does the risk of everything unraveling, for Brennan harbors secrets that could shatter not only their budding romance but the lives of those closest to Carly. Among these concealed truths is his role in covering up Jocelyn Jack's covert actions against the dangerous Cyrus Renault, a plot that could have deadly repercussions if exposed. Even more explosive is the fact that Carly remains oblivious to Jocelyn's recruitment by the World Security Bureau, WSB, a decision that places her daughter in perilous territory. Dating Carly, the fiercely protective mother of Jocelyn, while holding on to these volatile secrets is akin to dancing on the edge of a cliff. One misstep, and Brennan risks a catastrophic fall. As the days pass, Brennan's feelings for Carly grow impossibly stronger, pushing him toward a vulnerability he's unaccustomed to. Before the month draws to a close, viewers can expect a pivotal moment where Brennan lays his heart bare, delivering a deeply emotional confession that reveals the true depth of his affection. Picture this, a quiet evening at a dimly lit restaurant overlooking the Port Charles harbor, the tension between them palpable as Brennan struggles to find the right words. His voice, usually so steady and commanding, trembles slightly as he admits how much Carly has come to mean to him, how she's changed the way he sees the world. This raw display of emotion will not only highlight his susceptibility but also foreshadow the inevitable turmoil ahead. For as much as Brennan yearns for a future with Carly, the secrets he's keeping are ticking time bombs, and their detonation is only a matter of time. When the truth about Jocelyn's involvement with the WSB and Brennan's complicity in other dark deeds comes to light, the fallout will be nothing short of devastating. Will Carly be able to forgive him, or will this betrayal cut too deep? Adding another layer of complexity to this storyline is Carly's own stubborn belief in Brennan's inherent goodness. Despite warnings from those around her, most notably Jason Morgan, who has long suspected Brennan's true nature, Carly remains convinced that Brennan is a man worth trusting. She draws parallels between Brennan's murky dealings and those of Sonny Corinthos, her ex-husband, reasoning that if she could separate Sonny's business from their personal life, she can do the same with Brennan. Yet, this comparison only underscores her blind spot. Where Sonny's flaws were often out in the open, Brennan's are cloaked in mystery, making them all the more dangerous. Jason, ever the voice of reason in Carly's life, has cautioned her time and again about Brennan's untrustworthiness, but Carly's heart seems determined to override her head. When the inevitable revelations come crashing down, Carly may find herself forced to swallow her pride and admit that Jason was right all along. The bitter taste of humility will be a hard pill to swallow for someone as fiercely independent as Carly, but it might also be the wake-up call she needs to reassess who she allows into her life. The stakes for Brennan and Carly couldn't be higher as their relationship hurdles toward a breaking point. Every stolen glance, every tender moment, is laced with the unspoken dread of what's to come. Will Brennan find a way to come clean before his secrets are exposed by someone else, or will he cling to his deceptions until they destroy everything? And how will Carly cope when she learns that the man she's falling for has been complicit in endangering her daughter's life? The road ahead for this couple is paved with uncertainty, but one thing is clear. Their story will keep us on the edge of our seats, desperate to see whether love can triumph over lies in the treacherous landscape of Port Charles. Meanwhile, Jack Brennan's burgeoning feelings for Carly Spencer promise a roller coaster of emotions, with secrets threatening to upend not just their love story but the fragile stability of those around them. Port Charles is a town where the past is never truly buried, and the present is always on the brink of chaos. Stay tuned to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for more updates, predictions, and insights as these captivating stories unfold. What do you think will happen next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going.